Good afternoon to you. This is exclusively for section officer and private secretaries of CSS and non-participating agencies like AFSQ, IB, Railways, and External Affairs. We are now taking MACP because this was not taken up earlier. So after new pension rules, this we will take it up. I have made these notes exclusively from the point of MCQ, multiple choice questions, that model only. So kindly take down. I have called out important points which will be asked in the examination. So kindly take down. I will explain very slowly. First thing is, the scheme continues to be effective from 1st September 2008. 1st September 2008. In other words, 7th Central Pay Commission did not make any change, any substantial change. So, 1/9/2008, it continues. Second point is, I have taken the definitions first. Definitions and difficult portion I have called out at the last. I have kept it at the last. Easy portion, which is important from examination point of view, I have given first. First is definition. What do you mean by direct entry grade? Direct entry grade means the grade to which the official was appointed, number 1 on direct recruitment, number 2 on absorption, number 3 on re-employment. So, direct entry grade means the grade to which the official was appointed on direct recruitment, number 1, absorption, number 2, re-employment, number 3. So, this is definition for direct entry grade. Now, what do you mean by regular service? What do you mean by regular service? Which counts and which does not count? Kindly remember, service rendered on pre-appointment training, service rendered on contract basis, service rendered on ad hoc basis before regular appointment is not counted for MACP. Pre-appointment training, contract basis, ad hoc basis, these three, before regular appointment is not counted for MACP. Second point you should remember. Third, then what includes regular service? Regular service includes deputation, foreign service, study leave, and all other kinds of leave duly sanctioned. So, these are all regular service. What are those? Deputation, foreign service, and study leave, and all other kinds of leave provided it has been sanctioned. So, 3 items. Then, past continuous service. In another department, in the same grade pay, before regular appointment in the new department, without break, subject to successful completion of probation, counted for MACP. Again I repeat, past continuous regular service in another department in the same grade pay before regular appointment in the new department without break, subject to successful completion of probation. This is counted for MACP. Please note, This does not count for regular promotion. MACP, this is counted. But regular promotion, this will not count. Which one will not count? That is service in another department in the same grade pay before regular appointment in the new department without break, subject to completion of probation, counted for MACP, but this does not count for regular promotion. Note. Second is, in state government, statutory body, autonomous body, or PSU. What are those? State government, statutory body, autonomous body, or public sector units not counted for MACP. The service in state government, statutory body, autonomous body, or public sector units not counted for MACP. Then, fourth one or third. A person who has been declared surplus and appointed in the same pay scale or lower scale in the new organization counted for MACP. Again I repeat, a person who has been declared surplus and appointed in the same pay scale or lower scale in the new organization, in that case, it is counted for MACP. Number 4, transfer, including unilateral transfer to new organization, provided the service in the previous organization will count for regular service in new organization. Service in the previous organization will count for regular service in the new organization. However, financial upgradation will be allowed in the immediate next higher pay level in the pay matrix. That is, financial upgradation will be allowed in the immediate next higher pay level in the pay matrix. Nevertheless, remember, if his transfer was on request and if he is reverted to a lower post from the promotional post, the past promotion in the previous organization will be ignored for MACP in the new organization. I explain. You go on to another department on request to a lower post, then you work there, you have been promoted, due to some circumstances you come back to your lower post, and here you are getting promotion. In that case, that promotion will be ignored. Simply because you have got that promotion, your MACP program promotion in the lower post will not be barred. So you will get it. That is the intention. Next. This is allowed, MACP is allowed for work charged officials if service conditions are comparable with the staff of regular establishment. So, work charged staff eligible provided they have the comparable duties. Next, another. Existing time-bound promotion, in situ promotion scheme will continue, but it will not continue concurrently with the MACP. That is, you have got the time-bound program promotion, you got the in situ, you have got the MACP. You have to opt. You cannot have both. Either you go for in situ or time-bound or MACP. You cannot have MACP also and also the time-bound in situ promotion. You have to opt either, number 1. In the case of staff car driver, both are allowed. The MACP will be a fallback option. But remember, most important point, this is not in the new circular. Previous circular, it was there. The old ACP, the staff car driver was available. For them, both the institute was available, time-bound promotion was available, MACP was available. So they can choose either. But now the present circular, we do not have the option of MACP. So the department is to decide. Secondly, this MACP is applicable only for Government of India staff, central employees only. Autonomous and statutory bodies, ministry is to decide with the concurrence of finance ministry. Autonomous and statutory bodies, ministry is to decide with the concurrence of the finance ministry. Then, another important point, a screening committee in each department has to be constituted to consider the cases. The committee consists of one chairperson and two members. One chairperson and two members. The members are one level above the level in which MACP is considered. Suppose who is being considered in MACP, the members will be one level above the level of those who are considered in MACP, but not below undersecretary. Not below undersecretary. As far as chairman is concerned, they are one level above the members. Number one. Next is, committee should meet twice in a financial year. Cases maturing from April to September will be considered in the first week of January. It will meet twice in a financial year. Cases maturing April to September will be considered in January, and those falling due from October to March will be considered in the first week of July. So, January and July, April to September, and October to March. Remember. Next is, if the appointing authority is president and the screening committee is constituted in the ministry, then secretary should approve the recommendations of the committee. On the other hand, if the appointing authority is president and the committee is constituted in attached, subordinate, or field office, then the recommendations will be approved by the head of such organization. So remember, first secretariat, secretary will approve, subordinate, attached and other officers, the head of that organization will approve. In all other cases which are not been covered under this, the appointing authority will approve. So secretary, head of the organization and appointing authority. Secretary in the case of secretariat officers, head of organization in the case of attached, subordinate and field officers, which are not covered by these two, the appointing authority will approve. Now, disciplinary and penalty proceedings. MACP is subject to the rules governing the normal promotion under CCA rules 1965. There is no special rule for MACP. Whatever rules are applicable for promotion, the same rule applies here also. Next, promotion in MACP deferred due to penalty or denied due to unfit for promotion. In both these cases, it will delay future MACP also by the extent of delay in grant of first MACP. Let us say, in the first MACP, a person was overlooked. He was considered found not fit. So his MACP is postponed. Then next year also postponed. Third year also postponed. Fourth year, he has been promoted. So remember, so his MACP delayed for 3 years. Now fourth year, he has been promoted. Then the next MACP will also get postponed for 4 years. So that is the intention. Promotion in MACP deferred due to penalty or denied due to unfit for promotion. In both these cases, it will delay future MACP also. To what extent? By the extent of delay in grant of first MACP. So, this is disciplinary proceeding. Now, second is no change in designation, no classification change, no higher status. However, benefits linked to pay drawn is permitted. Benefits linked to the pay drawn is permitted. In what cases? HBA, government accommodation, and terminal benefits. No other status or official designation or classification, nothing. Most important point. Secondly, another important point, the CR evaluation, DPC. The benchmark for promotion for the year 15-16 and earlier years, because there are two blocks, 15-16, 2015-2016, and before that the benchmark is PB1 fitness. 2015-16 and earlier years, the benchmark PB1 fitness up to grade pay 6,600, that is PB3, good. And thirdly, grade pay 7,600 and above, benchmark, very good. Again I repeat, PB1 fitness, then up to PB3 6,600 under secretary, grade pay, it is good, and grade pay 7,600 and above, very good. Now 2016-17 onwards, 2016-17 and thereafter, for all categories it is very good. For all categories it is very good. So 2015-16, that is the watershed. 2016-17, very good. The earlier one, fitness, good and very good. So these are all the two blocks. The next is, remember, it is purely personal to the government servants, purely personal. No reservation roster will apply. No need to associate any SC/ST members in the screening committee. Remember, again I repeat, purely personal to government servants. No reservation roster will apply. There is no need to associate SC/ST members in the standing committee. In the screening committee. Now, next another important point. Group A was not covered under ACP, but now it is covered under MACP. Will get as many MACP as due, that is 10, 20 and 30 years. In other words, the scheme will continue to apply to all Group A except organized Group A. Who is excluded? Organized Group A excluded. Then Group A, Group B, Group C. Remember, casual employees, including temporary status, ad hoc and contract officials, do not qualify. I have already told you. Do not qualify. Who are all not qualified? Casual employees, temporary status and ad hoc and contract officials do not qualify. Now, debarment due to refusal of promotion. A person has refused promotion at all. What will you do? First case, kindly remember, very important. It is very practically, academically important, examination point of view important. Regular promotion refused. Subsequently, MACP is due. It will not be given. Regular promotion was refused by the official. Subsequently comes MACP due, but it will not be given. Why? Because the stagnation is not because of the government. The stagnation because he is refused. So, regular promotion refused, MACP becomes due, it will not be given, number one. Secondly, MACP given, but regular promotion refused, MACP will not be withdrawn. Second point, remember, MACP given, promotion refused, MACP will not be withdrawn. Then, till he agrees to be considered, and for the period of deferment, MACP will be also be deferred to the extent of that period. How many period he has deferred, he has refused, to that extent subsequent MACP will be deferred. So, remember 3 points. Again I repeat, promotion refused, MACP due, not to be given. MACP given, regular promotion refused, MACP will not be withdrawn. Till he agrees to be considered, and for the period of deferment, MACP to be deferred to the extent of that period. Next, officiating on ad hoc basis will be considered along with others. Officiating on ad hoc basis will also be considered along with others. They can accept MACP and reversion to the lower post if beneficial. If beneficial. So ad hoc persons will also be considered and they will be given also. They can accept MACP and reversion to a lower post if it is beneficial. Then remember, deputation. They need not revert. Deputation is need not come back. They have the option to draw the pay of the post held by him on deputation or the pay in the pay level admissible under MACP, whichever is beneficial. Whichever is beneficial. The deputation pay, everything they will get. Next, the scheme envisages financial upgradation counted from direct entry grade pay on completion of 10, 20 and 30 years of service. From here, the points arise. Number one, the scheme envisages 3 financial upgradations counted from direct entry grade pay on completion of 10 years, 20 years and 30 years of service. Second point, MACP is admissible if a person has spent 10 years in the same pay level in the pay matrix. Again I repeat, MACP admissible if a government servant has spent 10 years in the same pay level in the pay matrix. Then, third point, admissible up to level 15. Again I repeat, admissible up to level 15. That is corresponding to HAG. Corresponding to HAG. Then, fourth point, benefit of pay fixation available at the time of, as at the time of regular promotion available at the time of financial upgradation also. FR22 1A2 1A1 is available. FR22C or FR22 1A1 is available at the time of financial upgradation also. However, no further fixation at the time of regular promotion if it is in the same level as granted under MACP. Obviously, if the refixation is to be done, it should be in the higher level. So, if the pay is in the same level, the regular promotion, then you will not get the, again, another chance for fixation. Secondly, however, this is very important, kindly note down, however, at the time of actual promotion, if it happens to be in the post higher pay level than what is available under MACP. MACP is lower level and at the time of actual promotion, regular promotion, the post carries higher pay level, then he will be placed in a level to which he is promoted at a cell in the promoted level equal to the figure drawn by him due to MACP. If there is no such cell in the promoted level, place him the next higher cell in that level. He has the option to get his pay fixed either on the date of promotion or from the date of next increment. So in the lower level, he is in the lower level, and he in the regular promotion he has been taken to the higher level, and now he is entitled. So in the higher level, you have to fix his pay. You have to find out whether what is the cell. In the same cell is not there. He has got another cell, that is higher cell. Then fix it the higher cell, and you fix the pay accordingly. And he has the eligibility to option also. Remember, option also. This is very important. Secondly, promotions earned earlier or upgradations granted earlier in the past to those grades which are in the same level in the pay matrix due to merger of pay scale or upgradation shall be ignored. Remember, any promotion earned or upgradation granted earlier in the past to those grades which are in the same level in the pay matrix due to the merger of the pay scale or upgradation shall be ignored, and the benefit will be given from the date of notification of recruitment rules. So in the case of upgradation, in the case of what is called merger, the benefit will be given provided in the upgradation, in the promotion earned earlier or upgradation granted earlier in the past to those grades which are the same level in the pay matrix due to merger of pay scale and upgradation shall be ignored for MACP, and the benefit will be from the date of notification of recruitment rules. This is number one. Secondly, if MACP has been granted to a government servant in the next higher grade pay, and if the said higher post has been upgraded by the 7th pay commission by granting higher pay level, then the MACP will be refixed in the revised pay structure in the next higher level of pay matrix. So supposing your pay is fixed in the under MACP, subsequently that pay has been that post has been upgraded in the 7th CPC, then in that case your pay will be refixed. Next, promotions earned in the post carrying same pay level in the promotional hierarchy will be counted for MACP. Promotions already earned in the regular promotions in the promotional hierarchy will be counted for MACP. Again I repeat, promotions earned in the post carrying same pay level in the promotional hierarchy will be counted for MACP. Second, placement in the immediate next higher level in the hierarchy of pay matrix. Remember, placement is in the immediate next higher level in the hierarchy of the pay matrix. It does not necessarily mean placement in the next post in the promotional hierarchy. Remember, it is not a promotion. You are placed in the next cell. In other words, I give an example. In other words, the level at the time of financial upgradation, under MACP can be lower than what is available at the time of regular promotion. So regular promotion, it may be higher status, but at the MACP it may be lower status. In these cases, the higher level attached to the promotional post will be given only at the time of regular promotion. Note, only at the time of regular promotion. That is, again I repeat, the level at the time of financial upgradation under MACP can be lower than what is available at the time of regular promotion. In these cases, the higher level attached to the promotional post in the hierarchy will be given only at the time of regular promotion. Secondly, MACP does not constitute any pay anomaly. MACP does not constitute any pay anomaly. However, where a government servant was granted MACP, kindly note down, where a government servant was granted MACP before 1/1/2016 and he is drawing less pay in the revised pay structure than his junior, and if he is drawing less pay in the revised pay structure than his junior who was given MACP after 1/1/2016. That fellow was given before 1/1/16. This fellow was given after 1/1/16. Then the senior will be, the pay of the senior will be stepped up with reference to the junior in that higher post with effect from the date of MACP of the junior official subject to the conditions of stepping up. Again I repeat, kindly hear, listen to me carefully. MACP does not constitute any pay anomaly. First position. Secondly, however, where a government servant was granted MACP before 1/1/2016 and he draws less pay in the revised pay structure than his junior who was granted MACP after 1/1/2016, then the pay of the senior will be stepped up with reference to the junior in that higher post with effect from the date of MACP of the junior. However, remember, most importantly, this is subject to the conditions of stepping up, which I have already given you. Stepping up a pay. These are all the cases where the premature increments will not apply. So this is the MACP. Kindly, this is purely for an examination point of view, and kindly go through thrice more. Very easy, except one or two. Normally you can understand well, and come back to me if there is any difficulty. Thank you. Thank you.